What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We got Sparky back.
Here we are.
Like he never left. And today we are going to be answering the age-old debate, ARs versus AK-47s. So the main reason we are making this video is to kind of help out people that are indecisive on the two platforms. So a lot of people are new to firearms and new to shooting in general. And hopefully this video will help them better decide what they want, why they want it, and provide a little bit of insight. This is going to be very general information. We're not getting into super in-depth details. We got both here. We have a Stag and a PSA. This is the PSA 103. So technically it's not like a real AK-47. And this is, you know, well, this is just an AR-15. Yeah. It's just your standard run-of-the-mill mid-range AR-15. Nothing crazy, nothing stupid cheap.
This is a bottom-ish, mid-ish range.
I don't know, that's a chrome line FN barrel.
That's true. It's mid-range AK.
It's a $1,000 AK.
Okay. Well, okay.
You can get them.
Don't
anyway, we're gonna try to help you decide about what you want and why you want it, and then hopefully provide a little bit of entertainment in the mix of it all. But if you want a little bit more entertainment than what you get from the video, you should go check out the Patreon. There's where we like put all of our random outtakes, bad takes, Sparky saying things he probably shouldn't be saying in public.
Stuff like.
Yeah, exactly. So you should go check out the Patreon. Links down there in the description. It would appreciate it a lot, and it'd help us buy cooler stuff to show you guys.
That's right.
Let's start it out, Sparky, with talking about kind of the price point on both of these.
Okay.
And we've kind of touched base on it a little bit. We have two variants here. We have the Stag and the Palmetto. Now, I feel like these are very good examples of both similar range AK-47 versus AR-15. So the Stag new comes in at like $1,200, and this PSA, this is the 103. It has the chrome line barrel, and it has, like, you know, nicer options in terms of stock and whatnot. And that one runs $1,000. So you're both sitting pretty like in that comparable range, but you can go a lot lower. I think the cheapest AK-47 from PSA is like $600 on the dot. It's a green one.
Oh, okay, the MOE, whatever.
Yeah, it's super cheap, $600. And the cheapest AR-15 fully spec'd out from PSA runs about $480. So you're still about the same in terms of like your entry level. Now, if you wanted to build an AR, you could
go as expensive as you want.
You can go as expensive as you want to go.
Or cheap. You could probably go real cheap.
Yeah, you could probably, like if you get a kit or something. That's one thing that the AK is probably not. There's not as many building options for the AK as there is for the AR. So you can get the AR, I would say like $200 cheaper than the AK. They're both relatively available. I would say that the AR-15 is definitely way more
mainstream.
Yeah, mainstream and available. There's been more and more AK manufacturers, but there's not really that many.
But these are probably one of the two most recognizable firearms, hands down. In
terms of price and availability, these are the two most and they're probably the most, they have the most accessories for them. Like if you went out and bought something one-off, like an AUG or a Galil or something, you probably wouldn't be able to find as much aftermarket availability for it, or, you know, accessorized, whatever. But in terms of price point for these two, your AR is going to be typically, I would say, cheaper. And you're typically going to have more options in terms of manufacturers and in terms of buying capabilities.
It's a larger market over here for this.
Yeah, there's a larger market for the AR-15. Now, the AK, I won't say that, you know, you can't find anything. You can find accessories. You can find them all over the place. It's just not as common. Not saying that.
Not saying it's not out there. But
yeah, not saying it's not out there, but you can find way more AR stuff.
You just gotta look a little more and do a lot more to it.
Yeah, I would almost say, and you would probably disagree, brings me to like my second point, is I think an AR-15 is easier to work on.
I would agree as far as like adding stuff to an AR-15 or AR platform. There's a lot, it's much easier to change stuff out. If you want to throw optic on this AR, you just put it on it, because 95% of ARs come with some sort of rail system.
Already involved. Yeah, you got to get a special mount.
You got to get special mounts and move stuff around, and
you might also see a lot of AKs running with the pick piece on top. little did I know, you're not supposed to mount optics to it, because if you ever swap this out or like take it off, it'll lose 0.
Oh yeah, it will.
Because this is not meant for, you know, housing an optic.
Oh yeah, exactly. This is just a little cheap piece of stamped metal.
Yeah, I didn't know that. The new Midwest Industries, their Alpha Series stuff, it's supposed to attach up here and then lock in this piece, and you're supposed to be able to mount.
Almost looks like a chassis sitting on top of it.
Yeah, almost like a chassis system on top of it.
But that's expensive.
Yeah, that is expensive. That's like a $400 setup.
And not everybody makes it.
Yeah, exactly. So traditionally speaking, it's a lot easier to modify and a lot easier to add. Now, one thing I will say about AKs is typically they already come with optics. They come with backup irons. I would say it's very hard pressed to find an AR-15 that comes with iron sights, especially if you buy it in like a M-LOK rail configuration. Hardly any of them ever come with, you know, backup iron sights.
Unless you're buying a kit or something that has already like the Magpul M-Bus sights on it or something like that.
Or if you buy just like your very basic standard A2 type, or, you know, a very M4, you know, front fixed iron sight, and then it comes with a back one. You might be able to find that, but I would say, like, for the most part, your AR doesn't come with sights.
Because the AK comes ready to go out of the box.
Yeah, it does. And your AR typically doesn't.
Exactly.
Which I guess would go back to the price point thing, where you say you have to add $100 for iron sights to even bring it back to the AK's level. So
exactly.
But it is a lot easier to add, you know, your lights and your tactical features to an AR, because you don't have to swap anything out. If you bought an AK, which I would say most AK-47s, if you went to your local gun store, probably look like this.
Similar.
Very few of them actually come with your tactical accessories, like your flip over stock or your Magpul grip or your rail section. So you could add a light or add a red dot up here, because that's where you're supposed to add it. On your AK, or just something like that. And then that means you have to swap out all of these parts, which, I mean, I'm no expert in, but you know, I've looked at swapping stocks and stuff, and there's a little bit more involved.
Oh yeah, I agree, but also this kind of goes back to how what this is designed to do. This thing here is just designed to work. It's not designed for
a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, when this thing came out, what, 1946? Was that what we came?
47,
somewhere
whatever.
In that range. When this thing really, you know, was designed and came out, it was made to be infantry weapon that is like, you know, hey, here you go, use this, and boom.
Well, I would almost say the same thing about the original
M16.
M16, you know, it had the heat shield that ran along the front.
20-inch.
But it's adapted.
Oh yeah.
And it's because, and the adaptations have become more widestream, whereas
AK's been slow
to add all the Gucci cool stuff.
As far as on the mainstream market, that makes it affordable.
So I would definitely give it to the AR in terms of being able to be more customizable, and I would say a little bit easier to work with.
This is definitely a simpler piece of machinery. As far as like taking apart, cleaning, that kind of stuff, like pretty easy. I mean, the AR is as well, but it's a little bit more, there's a few more steps into it.
Yeah, exactly. But let's talk about the bullets themselves.
Okay.
We're gonna caveat this because I can see you guys typing already. You can buy an AR-15 in about 100,000 different calibers. And you can, I wouldn't say as many options in the AK, but there's definitely like,
they're becoming more
like more and more options in the AK as well. So we're gonna stick to the very like basic,
generic 5.56
7.2 by 39. So in terms of price, I would say price now, ever since the Russian steel case stuff was kind of like, you know, not coming in anymore. I would say price point on half decent ammunition is about the same.
Yeah, now I would say so. Before, AK went every day.
AK would, you know, just shoot you out of the water.
Because I can shoot twice as much at it in an AK.
It was stupid cheap. It was next to nothing. But now and now you almost have to buy brass 7.62 by 39, which is insane to me. But
fantastic stuff, it almost feels like a waste.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I'm putting this nice bullet in that. Like, wait a minute.
Bias.
But then you also got your people that love run steel case in their ARs, which will run. Your firing pin might not love it after a long time.
It's not as accurate either.
I think that has to do with this more so.
I don't know, man. I've never been able to shoot Tula.
Well, there might be something to it.
Anyway, in terms of price, they're about the same nowadays. Now, in terms of what you get out of the bullet is a different story. So the 5.56 will start out there as 55 grain. projectile. For the most part, I mean, you can get 62, and what's the 70? Is it like 77?
Yeah, 77.
I've never shot 77, so I'm
heavier stuff.
Heavier stuff. For the most part, you're getting a 55 grain bullet. Pretty, you know, small. Your effective range is, you're sitting out there at that 400, 500 yards. Of course, you can shoot further, whatever.
Count for 2 foot of drop.
Yeah, counting for way more than 2 foot drop. You're probably looking at like 4 feet of drop. Yeah. I don't know. But that 5.56, you're not getting a super lot of range out of it. It is fairly on an accurate platform. 5.56 AR15. You know, you get really good groups out of it. You're looking like, you know, 1, 2 MOA, depending on what kind of rifle you get and what kind of ammo you're shooting, and you know how good of a shooter you are. There's a ton. A
lot of variables going on.
Yeah, and to talk about accuracy between the two, I think it really, well,
I say AR is more accurate.
I think now with the amount of manufacturing and different ammo stuff, I think it's really just, I think they're both probably comparable, and it's probably really a lot of shooter and what you have and what you're shooting. I can't speak for, you know, the wide range of
everybody
military M4s that are out there that are, you know, been shot out and whatnot, and all the AK-47s, the original AK-40s. Like, there's just, there's too much into it. So I think it really depends on what you buy and how much you put into it, to how much accuracy you get out of it, and what kind of ammo you're shooting.
Then your big argument is also like, oh, you know, 7.62 much more knockdown, gonna do the job better at close range. See, you got that argument going there too. So
that's what I was getting to, is that the 5.56, the 55 grain, a lot of people would argue that it's not powerful enough, and you know, the military just
wasn't designed for that. Whatever.
Yeah, the military just pulled, you know, pulled back from the 5.56 when they're starting to introduce that new 6.8 round.
Yep.
Because they wanted something heavier, a little hard hitting, and
because wasn't the original, the folklore, whatever you want to call it, behind the 5.56 is, oh, you know, you're gonna get shot with it. It's not gonna kill you, but it's gonna wound you, and then your buddy's gonna have to come grab you. And now we got 2 guys out of the fight instead of 1. That was kind of the, ooh, you know,
that's FUD lore, Sparky. Be careful.
That's some FUD lore stuff.
Be careful, Sparky. That's some FUD lore stuff.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you're shooting that 30 cal bullet out of a AK-47.
A lot more whap.
Yeah. What's the weight on that? Is it 123? I believe. Here, where's the box?
Where'd the box go?
Where'd the box go? 124 grain.
Somebody littered.
124 grain. I was thinking the Grendel, 123 grain. So you're getting that 124 grain, a big 30 cal bullet, getting popped out and sent in your direction. You're getting a little bit more
punch.
Where's the flip up set it'll go to? 8.
8, good, dang.
Could you imagine just shooting 800 at irons?
Lobbing it down there?
Lobbing that sucker down range. In theory, you're getting a little bit more whomp behind it, and it's a lot heavier bullet, and it's hitting a lot harder. So that's one of the selling points to the AK, is supposedly a more capable round. Now, the 7.62 by 39, I think, was actually backed off, and the new AKs are chambered in some sort of 20 caliber round.
Yeah, I don't recall.
Is it a 5.45 or something like that? I'm not sure. I'm not up on. I've never shot it.
I'm not a big AK guy, so I wouldn't know off the top of my head, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they're starting to be backed off and chambered in a little bit smaller round.
So would that also, talking about caliber, would the AR be easier to shoot?
Yeah,
because
so I
of
think
recoil management?
Yeah, I think the AR-15 definitely is easier to shoot in terms of shooting a smaller caliber, the bullet has a little less whomp behind it. Recoil management, so much easier. And I think it would be easier to start shooting on the AR-15 platform as compared to the AK, because the AK kicks a little bit more.
True, but talking about ease of shooting, the AK is much simpler as far as controls. I would say, like, you know, now granted, these are both big, you know, in pop culture. Everybody's seen them, everybody knows kind of what they are just by looking at them. But I would say the AK is much simpler to use. Now, the layout, you can argue that the layout's a pain in the butt. Yeah. But no.
Well, it depends on your training, of course.
Well,
speaking of using them, Sparky, you want to just shoot them?
Well, we could. That'd be a lot easier. We can kind of talk about as to, you know, what makes this one easier as opposed to this one. So let's do it.
All right, so we're here at about 4.5 yards. We're very tactically equipped right now. Sparky's trying to figure out how to load this thing.
I'm not used to it. I'm a capitalist, man.
Sheesh. I've got the AR here. Like I said, it's gonna be a very tactically accurate. So we got 2 of these targets downrange. They're accurately sized individuals. One's
below average, above average.
One's below average and one is above average in height. because we are inclusive here.
Shooter ready? Oh yeah. Wow.
You suck. Well, I need to brighten it up because it's about blinding out here.
By EOTech, he said.
Do what?
Exactly. Shooter ready?
Ah! Golly, that was a horrible grip.
Yeah, you want to talk about my grip? Let's take a walk. Walk with me. Walk with me. We got Sparky, 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 ED, 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 ED. What a group. Boy, you talk about inclusive. Yeah, it's a big group.
Why don't you do 2 on the big guy and 3 on the little guy? There's plenty of ammo.
Headshots only, right? Kneeling? Are we doing?
Well, I mean, that EOTech's not sighted in, so you're kind of just...
Oh, that's his excuse.
You just kind of just point.
Hey, my red dot wasn't sighted in either. Shooter ready? Yep. Wham!
Got him.
Like a doorknob, everybody gets a turn. 2 and 2, not 3 and 2, 2 and 2. Shooter ready?
Man, I'm all over the place.
Now, if you was really inclusive, you'd do this.
We can't do nothing.
Headshot on each.
Oh, headshot on each, okay.
Shooter ready? Yep.
Oh, you got his ear.
Boy, we Van Gogh'd him.
So we're doing kneeling headshots.
Yeah, kneeling headshots.
Okay.
Shooter ready?
No.
We necked them.
Hey, I'm straight on though. You know?
I always questioned how straight you were.
I almost got A-zone on that one.
Almost.
You got ear on that one.
And Van Gogh'd him.
Van Gogh'd him.
We offhanding this?
Yeah, we're offhanded it.
Oh, Lord have mercy. This is gonna suck. Shooter ready?
No.
Now, why is that group better than the first one? Probably 'cause I took my time.
Taking your time's weak.
Shooter ready?
No.
Real ready. Safety third. Shooter ready?
Yeah. That was hard. I don't know. We should probably mark these, but
it's okay. Or do we want to shoot prone or?
we're here for a good time, not a long time.
That's right. Shoot 2 from here. Safety, run, shoot 2 more.
Notice how he emphasizes safety, just so y'all don't comment.
That's right. Hey, just do as I do.
Or don't.
Or don't, just depends.
Oh, fast shooting Sparky.
Wham, look out. Fast finger, fast finger.
Now, hold on a second. I would say his agility is pretty high because, no, not because of that. I think he's able to acquire targets a little quicker than me.
All right, well, we'll test the theory. We'll test the theory.
But he was getting to it. If you do want to have a little bit more comfortability and movability at the range, you can
I can move.
A little basement operator. Check it out, basementoperator.com, main way we fund the channel. Shameless plug. All right.
Shooter ready?
Yeah. I was better moving on that one.
We're gonna from the hip.
Little finisher move. We can do a little finisher move.
How many rounds you got? We just gonna dump them? There's 5 plus 1.
Give her a go from the hip there, Sparkles. Let's see what you got.
See what happens. We do not condone this.
Yeah, we do.
Shooter ready? Oh yeah. We forgot how to count.
If Sparky don't know how to count, all right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, that was it. All right. Turn around, turn around. We think that's pretty much going to conclude it in terms of the video. You know, it really doesn't matter. It really has to do with training, how much you shoot it, and how much you get used to it.
What you're more comfortable with.
I think AR-15 is definitely a more, you know, user-friendly option here in the United States.
As far as layout.
And in terms of layout, price, you know, availability of parts, all that great stuff. But I don't think you really go wrong with either. If you want to dive into the AK world, it's just going to be a little bit more difficult.
I think the platform is simpler, but the layout's awkward. But also, most of us are used to this platform.
Yeah,
as opposed to this
it's all about what you get used to. Like I said, I don't think you'll go wrong with either. Everything else, I mean, they're getting to the point now where it's really you and how you want to train with
The
it.
world is your oyster.
Yeah. So we really appreciate you guys for watching this video. Also, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button and check me out on Instagram. We'll catch you guys on the next one. As always, take someone outdoors. Peace.
Which one makes you look cooler?
Oh.
Oh, AK. AK.
AR makes you look cool.
No, AK looks like you're about, you know.
You can't say that. God.
What?
Snack time.
If I'm lying, I'm dying.